Good morning, Access. Welcome to another episode of This Is Our Family. Thank you for joining us today as we continue our series, Faith Over Fear. If you have a story to share, we would love to hear it. Please send it to life@accesschurch.org.au and it might make it into a future episode. If you've been wondering how we're bringing these church services to you online, we're going to take a behind the scenes look with a new segment called Tim's Tech Tour. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone, we just wanted to give you a bit of a backstage view of what we've been doing to make sure that our services go online. So first of all, let's start at the stage. You can see I'm standing here. We have cleaned up a lot of equipment and moved things off the stage. All our drum kit is re-mic'd and it's got a whole bunch of mics on it that it didn't even have before. So that we can hear the drums every Sunday. We've done things like change the way our keyboard works, and so the stage has all been cleaned up. But the really big change I wanted to show you is we've actually changed entirely where all of these microphones get plugged into. So come with me down to the mess. Now, watch your step. This is brand new, 2 weeks old at the moment. See this little box here? This box enables us to get all of the microphones off the stage and they come into this box. The reason this is so important is this is where all of the microphones come in and they're able to be picked up by the mixer, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but also they go to a special computer which we send to you out on the internet to view our Sunday morning services. So let's go check that out. So here we are. This is our old desk, which has served us really well. And there's actually nothing wrong with it from a sound point of view, but it really wasn't going to work for our work with live streaming. So let me show you where we upgraded. This is our new desk. It looks a lot fancier and a lot bigger, but the biggest advantage we get is, do you remember the stage box I showed you in the back room? All the audio comes from that box over our network to this mixer here. We're able to do a mix for the auditorium, so that when you all come back into the auditorium and we're enjoying worship together again on a Sunday, this is what will be making the sound for you. The other important job that this mixer does is it gets the sound right for our musos, for their in-ear monitors. You may have seen them wearing their little earphones they're wearing these days, or for the speakers that are on the front of the stage so they can hear what they're doing in their performance. So that's what this one's for. The upgrade was needed primarily because we needed to be able to separate what happened in the auditorium and what happens going live to you streaming on a Sunday morning. So this will be a big change for some of you who haven't seen this. Used to be an office. Well, it's still got a printer in it, which is important, but the prime purpose of this room has now become our streaming room. So the big part about the audio is that little box, which is sending all that audio onto our network via your usual network cables, a bit like Wi-Fi you might have in your own house, but it comes into a computer which is down here, and this is now where we do all of the mixing that's going live to the stream. There's not a sound desk like you saw out there, it's all done in the computer. So all the audio from the stage, those drums and keyboards and all those things we mentioned before, come into here to be mixed and ready for going out to the internet for you on a Sunday morning. The other thing that's been moved into here is our control center for all of our cameras. Now, to send pictures to you on a Sunday, we take a lot of cameras and a lot of computers, and there's PowerPoint and all sorts of things. But you can see here, we have a total of 8 cameras available to us there. They will be mixed by someone who's sitting here and gets everything prepared, ready to send out to the internet. So this is the main hub of all video, and I'm going to show you what some of the cameras are that we've upgraded as well. So there's some new additions that you'll see around the auditorium when you do come on Sunday. One of them are these little cameras. There's one mounted up there, and you just saw another one. There's a few of them around the auditorium, and they're actually remote controlled. And the best thing about that is that we don't need someone to stand in front of a camera or to interrupt our worship time or anything else. They're actually remote controlled and able to pick up everything within the room, and we can use that, and we're using them at the moment to send pictures to you. There's some other sorts of cameras in here as well. I should mention actually, those ones have been donated for us, which is fantastic because that's something that we didn't need to pay for ourselves. The other thing that we have here is these sort of cameras, which you might be more familiar with. And they're manned cameras. Someone will be standing there and actually focusing in and following people as they move around on the stage. So at the moment, on a Sunday morning, there's about 6 cameras that are being used to send the pictures to you, and they're being mixed in that control room that we saw before. So as you can see, there's a lot of equipment that goes into making Sunday morning happen, but also a lot of equipment that gets us ready for when we all get to enjoy worshiping together again on a Sunday. But I just wanted to get you guys an insight into the what happens behind the scenes to make it all happen. And there's a lot of work and a lot of effort that's gone into that. I do want to acknowledge there's a lot of donations of equipment that have actually been put into the mix to make this possible, from computers to cameras to tripods. But I more importantly want to acknowledge the effort and time of people like Peter Mills, who has spent hours and hours installing the brand new equipment for us, and Tim O'Brien, who's holding the camera right now and is doing all of a majority of the filming work for us here at Access. So there's a lot of effort and a big team goes into making that work. But I hope you're enjoying our streaming, and we are looking forward to having you back in the building. But here's a little bit of an insight into what makes it go. And if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to us, because we're more than happy to talk about it. We love this stuff, and we enjoy using it for God's kingdom. So please make sure you get in touch if you do have a question.
Here are a few upcoming events to mark your calendar. Please check the website or call the church office for more details. We have the Building Forum tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You must register for this event in order to attend. We also have the men's breakfast coming up this Saturday. Nick's going to share some information with us now.
Hey Nick, great to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to be here, Jono, thanks.
And the men's group, after a long layoff with COVID, have been able to come back in the building and meet together. How's that been going?
That's been good. We've already started with the Wednesday night, so that's awesome. We've got now the men's breakfast coming up, and so that's fantastic. The feeling that all the guys are now able to come, the men can come back together again. Really good feeling.
Yeah, cool. So the men's group's been going well, and then the breakfast is something that you had planned for March, but had to be delayed. So next one's August the 1st. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the next one, August the 1st. We've got our illustrious pastor, Jono.
Right.
That would be you speaking. So the broad topic is reality, but not as you know it. And I think you're going to be unpacking that a little bit about how, there's a reality of our experiences, but then there's the reality of what the Bible says. So I'm really looking forward to how you're going to do that, and excited that finally we can get the men together. So because of COVID restrictions, we've lost 2 breakfasts, but we're going to be trying to make them up now. So first one in August, 1st of August, bright and early, Saturday morning.
Cool, looking forward to it.
We are so grateful for the ongoing generosity at Access Church, especially during this difficult season that we're in. If Access Church is your home church, we invite you to partner with us financially. The details on how to give will show up on the screen, or head over to our website on how to give online. Today in our Faith Over Fear series, Jono had the opportunity to sit down with psychologist Elena Westaway. She discussed the potential link between depression and fear. Let's have a listen to that.
So Elena, in this week's message, we're looking at depression and how God worked with Elijah through his depression. Is there a link that you see in your professional practice between fear and anxiety and depression? And if so, how do they interplay?
Yeah, there definitely is, Jono. Anxiety comes out of fear to begin with. And unfortunately, anxiety and depression are really good bed buddies. So how it tends to work with anxiety is, when we're feeling anxious, we want to avoid anything that makes us feel anxious, which usually means everything. So we stay away from certain places and certain people, and we start to isolate, which ironically makes us feel depressed. And it can happen the other way as well. When we feel depressed, life starts to stop, and then we get worried about what people are going to think, or I can't function, or how long this is going to last. So the two of them are really quite enmeshed. Yeah.
So how do I know if I'm just having a pity party versus I actually need to seek professional help for depression?
So we all have pity parties. Traffic's bad, it's raining when I plan a picnic,
Football team
loses, if the Broncos lose again, sorry Broncos supporters. So this is really normal, and we all have blue days or blue moments. That's a natural reaction to things not going the way we want them to go. Depression is when that invades all parts of our life, and it's the intensity is much worse and duration is much worse. So when I actually stop functioning on a normal level, that's when I really probably need to go, whoops, something's not quite right here. I can't get myself out of this. This is just overwhelming. Yeah.
So today we're going to be looking about how God handled Elijah and the help that he brought him practically. As a church, what's the worst thing we could do or say to someone who's experiencing depression?
I want to say, I'll pray for you. but we should pray for people. But if that's all we say, then we're being really, really unhelpful.
Yeah.
I think just getting alongside somebody who's struggling and supporting and loving and being there, and not even saying I understand, because quite often we can't, but just being able to not let someone go through that journey on their own. If we can connect and be there in whatever capacity they need, I think that's the way we can help the most. And yes, pray for them.